Awesome, that sounds great. And hopefully we'll get soon and it'll be a success. Moving. Do you see it?
Where's the pups? Over here. Chill, chill. Got him.
Got it?
Yeah.
Woo.
All right.
In the middle of Haast's rugged ranges, tucked in the mountains of the South Island, hides one of New Zealand's most mysterious birds, the Haast tokoeka kiwi. With only 400 remaining, these ginger alpine birds hold the unfortunate title of being the world's rarest kiwi. But today, there is good news. Rangers Stacey and Heath have discovered something unexpected. It's the end of the breeding season, but monitored tokoeka pair Thumper and Domino have laid a rather late egg. As part of an intensive conservation program, the rangers have come to collect it, as these mountains are a dangerous place for a young kiwi.
So when they hatch, they're really vulnerable little balls of fluff, so they don't have many tools to protect themselves, you know.
Once they've hatched into chicks, 95% of them at least would get eaten by invasive predators, which is not okay. Now the species can't survive if they're losing that many.
To combat this problem, the rangers have adopted a program called Operation Nest Egg, which removes the egg from the wild and raises the chick out of danger until it can be safely returned back home. It will take a small army of people to raise this kiwi to fighting weight, and Stacey and Heath have the first challenge, finding where Thumper is hiding his egg.
50 metres out from the nest, you want to start just being really quiet so the adult doesn't panic.
Tokoeka can be quite stressful birds. All they have to defend themselves with is their big feet and claws, so they might stomp around in there if they think something's coming in, and they have been known to crack the eggs. I mean, it never bodes well when you're collecting an egg off a bird with the name Thumper, and the one thing you want it to do is not thump its egg.
As they draw closer to Thumper's nest, the rangers have no idea what type of mood he will be in. And they find him sitting right on his egg.
Thumper made a lot of noise and was stomping around. Yeah, I was quite nervous. But a good result. We got the egg out, no cracks. Yeah. snug little beanie. It's an awesome feeling. You just know that you're protecting something really precious. It's worth it to protect a kiwi egg.
Nice and snug and they're all ready to go.
Hey Philippa, just letting you know that we have a beautiful egg and we're on our way out.
Oh, fantastic news, Stacey. I'll let them know.
It will be over a year before this chick returns back to the Haast Ranges, but for now he's heading further up north to hatch.
He's kicking. You see the shadow that moves? It's his bill. So, ideally, he will be XPing.
So Haasties are kind of my favourite, and I shouldn't say that because I didn't have favourites, but they are very different to birds that I've looked after before. They are just difficult. But yeah, I think the one thing I fell in love with them is just the different attitude that they have.
Come on. Come on, Madeleine.
We talk to kind of see that they're moving.
Hey, little one. There we go. What are you doing?
It's that nice response of having the egg moving, if not whistling back at you. It's a smile on your face when you see that egg move for the first time. It's pretty precious. The more it moves, the more we know it's alive, and we also know it's moving into a good position for hatching as well. So hatching for kiwi is a very long process. The chick will kind of run out of air within this shell, half suffocate itself, and that is the next stage for it to kind of externally pip and break through that shell. Once it's started that process, that's when we start ticking the clock.
Hey, little one. I know.
This Haasty is a little bit slow. He was just tired and he was just over it. But yeah, he was perfect. Just a little bit slow, but perfect. The Haast, from pretty much day one, they tell you to go away. They are control. They want to do what they want to do, and they will do whatever they can to defend themselves. They're very much my way or the highway. They will forever just stay in that state. But their personality and that aspect is quite fun.
In the first couple of weeks of a Kiwi's life, it is normal for them to lose weight. But with regular feeding and a little bit of time, Almer is back at his hatching weight and ready to move on to the next stage.
Almer was a bit of a surprise. I don't think anyone was really expecting birds later in the season. So he came to us when everything else was already quite a big size, and he was very small. We've processed about 40 birds through the creche now. We haven't had a bird that small that late. So when we got the call to say, yep, there's another chick and it'll come your way, we just scrambled to make another pen and continued on as we do.
Almer has arrived at his new home, and he's about to spend his first night outside, in Dunedin's very own Kiwi Creche.
Orokonui Ecosanctuary is a fenced reserve. What it means is that we're a predator-free sanctuary, so anything that has been introduced we ideally want to keep out. It means certain animals, like kiwi and robins and takahe, have been able to be reintroduced to an environment where they can live without the pests that cause them to decline in such rapid numbers. So it's quite a good place for birds like Almer to adapt to a more wild situation and to learn to do what a kiwi should do on their own.
For his first few nights, Almer will be staying in his own private pen. But only time will tell how he's adjusting to his new life outside. Outside, there is a lot that can distract a Kiwi chick. But Almer only has eyes for one thing: his food box.
If the bird in its first few nights eats food from the food box, that's a really, really good start. And he ate like a trooper. He got quite a lot of weight gain in those early stages. Yeah, he was very healthy, shall we say.
In a single night, Almer can easily eat half his body weight in food. and very quickly he starts to outgrow his pen.
It's good if we can give them some more space. Being in a pen does seem to make them more active. They run around the perimeter quite a lot. We want to make sure that they're continuing to gain weight for at least 3 or 4 nights in a row. Then we can deconstruct a pen. They certainly seem to do better once the pen has been opened. They're just that little bit calmer. They can roam where they want to go.
It's been a week since Almer left his pen. Although he's been returning to his food box, the rangers need to check that he is coping with his newfound freedom and continuing to put on weight.
Right where your head is now, straight between us. Turn to your right.
This is Almer. Keep still. No way. 620. It says put on 120 grams.
Ooh.
What's that? Did it just
Just did a poo.
Oh god. Smell that. Oh, that's a good one. Quite distinctive. I know.
So what I do first is I feel his little body. You can feel how much bone is present. And that we use with the weight to give us an overall condition on the bird. It's looking good.
It's all right.
He's actually in really good condition. Quite a bit of padding on him.
Yeah, and you can feel it when you hold them.
And he is eating every night, which is really good news. They can pick up internal parasites. So we've had birds before that have suffered from coccidia damage internally, not that you'd know about it, and then they've subsequently died. It's younger birds that are the most affected by something like internal parasites. The 2 medicines that we're giving here are for that control.
Cat's very good at this. Wash it all down. I know. Some people are against what we're doing. It's very intrusive what we do. But there's only 400 left. Every single one counts. And they are such a unique form of life on planet Earth. And if we can make a difference and we can save them, we should.
From parasites to predators, there is a lot that can harm a kiwi chick.
In Haast, the kiwi chicks are vulnerable for so long that almost all chicks get killed by stoats. They are a formidable beast. The odd one is so freakily agile and cunning. I mean, they can climb, they can swim, they're intelligent. It's just a perfect killing machine. Kiwi chicks, they have no defence. Something like 95% die by stoat predation where stoats aren't being managed. totally destructive. But it's not their fault humans released them into this country. It's humans' fault. The early settlers just wanted to recreate a piece of England, really, so let's bring everything over. So it's humans' responsibility to try to rectify the damage. Until the technology's improved that they can get stoats to bugger all densities over large areas, they will continue using Operation Nest Egg. Right, you ready? Yeah, right. Such a drama queen.
Once they're at a good health and weight to be moved, we can say job done. Then they go on to an island where they seem to do really, really well. We call it graduation, and that's the way that we look at it. They graduate from the creche to go on to other things.
Oh, beautiful. Well done.
There you go.
Sneaky skulking.
Wow, that was lovely. Beautiful.
Too easy.
Pleased to be able to get. Like easy.
Almer's heading off on his next adventure with 2 other Operation Nest Egg Kiwis. Jacinda's taking them to Kiwi College on the wild and predator-free Rona Island.
People kept saying to me when I arrived, you know, the Haast were different. There's no mucking around with the Haast tokoeka. They're very athletic, they're highly motivated, and in nearly every measure they've not conformed. And that's one of the reasons that they're actually really cool to work on. They're pretty challenging, they may test you all the time.
Joining Almer and Jacinda for the release are members of the local iwi, Ngāi Tahu.
It's always really good to get the birds onto Rona. We can really step back and let them just get on with being Kiwi. And that's only possible because of the massive amount of work and effort that Pamona Island Trust and Makaawhio put into keeping this island predator free. Right, there should be a bit of a track through here. You can't let them go here on the rocks. The Haast tokoeka, these are Tonga species for Makaawhio. Their ongoing survival is important to them as the survival of their place and their people here.
Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Whānau from Ngāi Tahu side, we just want to acknowledge the wider hapori or community that are in behind the Iwis for Kiwis. We deeply relate to these birds as whānau, and we really appreciate the support to bring these birds through to a healthy, flourishing population. Yeah, no mai hara mai, welcome.
Right, yeah, so let's not get wet, let's get them out. Okay, I think we should start with sweetie pie. So this is the biggest one. When we invite people on the releases, you really feel that sense of connection and the excitement. There's just this real vibe, you know, this energy. Everyone's excited about Kiwi. So many releases, you know, people have moved to tears. It's that special to them. You know, it's just so important to take the pause and just think, wow, this is amazing. This is why we do this. Once they're on Rona, well, I think it's a bit of a combination of party time and just like this great adventure. Finding their way around and checking out with the other Kiwi. Yeah, learn to be a Kiwi. Look after themselves. So once they come back to the Haast Sanctuary, they will have developed a skill set that will help them flourish. That's what we want. Bye-bye. See you next time.
It's been a while since the Rangers and Almer last saw each other. He's marked his first birthday on Rona, and he should now be big enough to go on his final journey, back home to the Haast Ranges.
Moving.
Jump. Over here. Got it. Far out.
Oh, Poppy, well done, love. Well done.
All right.
Once our guys have gone through their captive rearing, we deem them safe to go back into the sanctuary. They have big feet and claws. They can definitely be pretty feisty.
Scratch.
Everyone has a few scars, I think, on their hands.
Yeah.
Into themselves.
Sweet.
Almer has travelled over 1,000 kilometres, and today, everyone's hard work has finally paid off.
It's often quite a big day, the releases.
Yeah, really special bringing them back. It's quite a journey that they go on. They've gone through this procedure, which is quite stressful, but without that, Almer probably wouldn't have made it. Odds would have been stacked against him. I mean, that's why we go through all this hard work. You're putting this bird back into the sanctuary, and you know it's got a really good chance of survival, that it all feels worthwhile. And we're seeing ones that have been released, breeding and producing their own chicks now. We know we've got population growth. It's awesome knowing that they're out there. Hopefully Almer will team up with a lady around there and produce chicks. I just want to see people coming back and saying they saw kiwi while they're out in the bush. I'd like to see them spread all the way north and south, back inland. I'd like to have Haast tokoeka running around in our backyard, having a population that isn't so cryptic and mystical. It's actually a normal thing. That's what we're working towards. Yeah, that's the big picture plan.